Hi guys, it's Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated TBR.
It was late at night. You tossed and turned as thoughts began to play. How can this be life?
So, I can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be doing an updated TBR. It is currently May... Hold on, because I don't know if you're able to see it. It's currently May 25th, the day that I'm filming this. So, on my Goodreads, I have a 7-day, my end of the year goal is to read 7 books. So, that's the plan. I've slowly been growing my book collection since my first video. And I kind of want to just talk about everything. I have everything over here. So I guess I'm just going to start with like what I've already read so far this year and kind of give you guys like a quick rating and overview. I do have reading vlogs for the 2 books that I'm going to be talking about already. Sorry if the lighting changed a little bit. But yes, like I was saying, I do have 2 reading vlogs for the 2 books that I've already read this year. But I have not gotten around to editing those, and you guys will probably get this video before then. So I guess I will just start talking about them now. So the first book that I actually don't have with me because I'm letting my cousin borrow it to read, but it is Daisy Jones and the Six. I rated this book a 5 out of 5. First book that got me into my reading journey, I should say. I think it was an amazing book to start out this journey with. The writing style was amazing. Taylor Jenkins Reid's was freaking amazing. The way that the book was written in interview style really made you feel like you were a part of the band. And like one of the members, like the members that just observes everything. It was so good. And also I feel like it's very to the T of how an artist's life is behind the scenes. Obviously we don't know what that is. We only get glimpses of it in like behind the scenes videos and documentaries, but I feel like she followed around a band and kind of like took in all their background and just wrote it. Amazing. So that was my 5 out of 5. The second book that I finished reading is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This is my first Colleen Hoover book, and I'm glad that it is because, listen, Miss Colleen Hoover has so much praise on Book Talk, on BookTube. It was freaking amazing. I cannot wait for this movie. I believe it's going to be a movie. I cannot wait for this to come out. And there's going to be a sequel to this book called It Starts With Us, and comes out October 18th, and I'm literally going to pre-order it when I come back from this trip that I'm going on. I literally cannot freaking wait for it to come out. Like, I will literally probably be running to the stores to buy it. I was very hesitant about this book because of the hype that it has on TikTok, and a lot of what people hype up aren't that good, not gonna lie. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to read stuff in the middle of it being super hyped up. So I wanted to like give it some time to like die down and get into it, and I'm so glad that I did. It actually took me a really long time to read this book because I started it in December and I took a really long break, and I just finished it like 3 days ago, I want to say. So it's still fresh in my mind. It's so good. As you can see, or I don't know, can you see? Yeah, I have 2 tabs in here because my cousin is going to read this book. And I think I mentioned I'm not one for really annotating my books, but I think I'm going to like slowly start annotating my books after I obviously let her borrow it. But I put 2 tabs at the end of the book and 2 of my favorite quotes. I'm not going to read it because then it's going to spoil the book. But I told her that like I put 2 tabs in the book, and like when you get to the tabs, like it'll all make sense on why I put those tabs in there. So yes, this book I rated a 4 out of 5. I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 only because although it did make me feel a lot of stuff and I was in shock and I was heartbroken and it was so good and it was such a good read, I didn't get the same exact feeling that I did when I read Daisy Jones and the Sixth. Like, Daisy Jones and the Sixth is probably going to be my top tier book for a really long time because that book just made me feel so many things that like I cannot even describe. But this book was very much a close second. But that's the only reason why I didn't give it 5 out of 5. Because it didn't make me feel like super... Whereas with Daisy Jones and the Six, I felt like I was a part of the band. And in It Ends With Us, I feel like I was an observer in Lily's life. Whereas being a part of it, being an observer. So that's why I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Now, to get to the book that I am currently reading, I started this book, The Summer I Turned Pretty, the first book in the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. Jenny Han is known for the To All the Boys I Loved Before books and movies. And I did not read those books, and I probably won't read those books, to be honest. I feel like the movie is pretty much everything that I could read in the book, so I'm okay with never reading the book. But I have really high hopes for this. The Amazon show comes out next month on the 27th, and I cannot freaking wait. I've literally been watching so many like aesthetic videos, edit videos, like so much. I've been looking up the cast, which is really awesome because I can like envision the cast in my head while reading this book. So good. I am currently on page 164, the start of chapter 26, and I'm super freaking excited. To be honest, I'm gonna try to finish this book this week so that I can buy the second and third book just to have on deck. I really do want to try to read the whole trilogy by the end of the summer. That's a pretty big goal for myself. So yeah, because it's the summer, it's the start of the summer, I feel like it's the perfect time to read this book. And although it is a young adult, like it just, yeah, it makes me feel like a kid. Like the stuff that Billy describes, like I know that to a T. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. Okay, and we all know about They Both Die at the End. I did not finish reading this one. I stopped. Where did I stop? Hold on. Here we go. I stopped on page 180. So I still have all of this left to go. I think eventually I will come back to this, but I have so many just like really like thrilling like books that are now being talked about that I really, really want to just read before I come back to this one. So I may or may not finish, but this is on hold. So these next couple of books I have not read at all. So I'm just going to kind of pick up and we're going to just talk about it. Starting with this book. Okay, so actually I did read the first page of this. It's called The Three Mothers, How the Mothers of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and James Baldwin Shaped a Nation. I started reading the first page of this. And I know for a fact I am going to be annotating the shit out of this book. Like, just within reading the first page was like, wow. Like, it literally talks about like when this starts off with whose mother? It talks about one of the mothers, I can't remember which one. It talks about her finding out she was pregnant. So it's like that process. And when I saw this in Barnes & Noble's, it was on the table. Like when you walk in, it was on the table, and it was for Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, let me look. And I looked at the table of contents. Yeah, I need to read that. Part 1, The Criticism of Birth. Part 2, The Denial of Our Existence. Part 3, Our Men and Marriages. Part 4, The Birth of Our Children. Part 5, Our Trials, Tribulations, and Tragedies. Part 6, Our Loving Sons. Part 7, Losing Our Sons. Part 8, The Circumstances of Our Death. And then conclusion, Our Lives Will Not Be Erased. I did read the first page, like I said, first couple pages, to be honest. And I just haven't picked it up. This is a book that I plan to, I kind of want to have like a transition book. I always kind of want to have 2 books on me. So I think I'm going to bring this actually so I can kind of start reading it more because it was getting really, really good. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to go back into this one. The next book, let me stack up actually the books that I've already talked about. The next book, okay, this book right here, The Conversations Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. This book has been, I mean, the Hulu show just came out like a week ago. It's Wednesday, so last week around this time, the Hulu show came out. I have watched the first 5 or 6 episodes. Obviously, I'm going to read the book, but I kind of wanted to get like the feel for it. When it comes to Sally Rooney, I can't lie, I'm a little worried about liking this book. I hope that I actually like it. I started to watch the show For Normal People on Hulu because one of my favorite YouTubers, Steph, said that if you watch the show, it's pretty much like reading the book because it's kind of like carbon copy. She's like, to be honest, you could watch the show and not read the book, so that's what I was doing. And not gonna lie, the show, it just wasn't piquing my interest. It was kind of really boring. I got to the second episode and I stopped. I think I'll go back and maybe eventually finish. But I was really bored. So I started Conversations with Friends on Hulu, the show. And I can't lie, I was getting the same kind of feeling. I was getting really bored. I like the concept of the book, but just like the very quiet shots, like it wasn't really like, it's something I could definitely play in the background and not have to pay much attention to, kind of for noise. I'm going to finish the show before I like fully give my like full opinion on it, my full review, but to be honest, it's not going that well for me. I have not picked it up in a little bit. But the book I'm actually really hoping is really good. I have been seeing like some like of the quotes float around on TikTok, so I'm like, okay, maybe that'll be like better in the book. I did watch a TikTok from a girl who did read the book and watched the show and reread the book before watching the show. So it was like all fresh in her mind. And she said that the book was a lot better so far in the episodes that she was watching. She said that she felt like the chemistry between Nick and Francis is very, very awkward, which is exactly what I feel when I'm watching the show. Like I could literally predict what Francis is going to say. And I'm not really feeling the chemistry there yet. Yeah, I have high hopes for this though, so hopefully this is good. I don't know, maybe I will do a reading vlog for this one because this one I'm a little worried about, so be on the lookout for this at some point in the year, hopefully. Next, oh actually no, I'm going to save this book for the end because this is a non-fiction. My hand's already on it. So, Heartstopper. If you don't know what Heartstopper is, you're probably living under a freaking rock. This is the graphic novel. This is the graphic novel by Alice Oseman. There is 4 books, I believe, in this series. 4 volumes. Is, like I said, a graphic novel. And this is going to be a dual read with one of my friends. We have watched the show and finished the show. I fully finished the show. She has like 3 episodes left. But when we were watching the show, we were like, we have to pick up the books because I need to know what happens. So obviously I just bought the first book. I am going to buy the second, third, and fourth all in one big lump sum when next time I go to the bookstore. And I also heard Alice is working on the 5th book, so I'm really, really excited. I think I'm just so excited to read this book because the on-screen Charlie and Nick, the chemistry is so good. And not to mention, like, they look uncanny to the comic book characters. Like, I literally was seeing the pictures of the comic book characters and then the actors, and it's just... it's crazy. It is really crazy how much they look alike. So, really excited, really excited for this one. Oh god, my books are tipping over. The next book, and honestly, hopefully, this is my last book of the year that I want to try to get around to reading, is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm super excited for this book because I think Taylor Jenkins Reid is easily becoming one of my favorite authors. I feel like anything she writes so far, I'm going to absolutely love. And obviously, like I said at the beginning of this video, I gave Daisy Jones and the Six a 5-star read. And this book is literally, everybody has compared it right up there with Daisy Jones. Like, if you love Daisy Jones, you will probably love this book even more. So I'm super freaking excited for this. I can't wait. Like, I've been looking up like some aesthetics without spoiling it for myself, and baby, yeah, I'm so excited for this one. I want to try to read this starting in November because I would like for it, like I said, to be the last read of the year. And obviously, whatever I don't read is going to get rolled over into the next year and with whatever other books that I read. The next book is not a shocker. It is The Viscountess, or The Viscount Who Loved Me, the second, or is it the first? Is this the first? Actually, no. Yes, it is. The first book in the Bridgerton season. Yes, it is. I'm really excited. I am not actually going to read The Duke and I, and I'm probably not going to go in complete order, to be honest. With the Bridgerton books, I've been hearing things, and I probably will be, like, sporadically reading. Definitely Kate Sharma and Anthony Bridgerton, Simone Ashley's Jonathan Bailey sold me so hard that the next time that I went to Barnes & Noble's, I actually bought the book. And I'm really, really, really excited because I'm just going to envision them and, like, their, like, quick wit and, like, everything that they have with each other, I'm going to envision when I read this book. And obviously, the book's going to give me a lot more than what the TV show gave me. You know, a lot of people have been talking about how it's such a slow burn, and I love that. Cannot freaking wait. Like I said, when it comes to the Bridgerton books, I'm probably going to skip around because I'm not 100% sure if I want to read the Colin and Penelope story. I have been hearing from people that when the Colin and Penelope story opens up, Penelope has had a bit of a transformation. And they take her from a plus-size character and totally change that. And it's like she lost a lot of weight, she changed her look, and now she's appealing to everybody. And I hate that in books. I hate the stereotype of whenever you're plus size, in order to fall in love, you have to lose a lot of weight. Like, I hate that. So therefore, I will not be reading Colin and Penelope's book, no matter how much I love them. And it really does suck because they are, like, literally my favorite two characters. But I will not be reading that book. Sorry, but I am really excited for the show because next season is going to be Colin and Penelope's season, and obviously I feel like it's pretty well known that Nicole Loughlin, I think is her name. Nicole is basically not going to be losing weight for the role. I feel like that's pretty unspoken and pretty clear, and I'm really excited for that. But I definitely am looking forward to reading this one, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading Benedict's story. And then I'm a little hesitant about Eloise's story. I don't know if I want to read it or not because I feel like it's no shock to anybody that I think Eloise is a lesbian. So I don't really think I want to read her and Sir Philip's. Frances I'm going to try to read because her season's going to be very interesting. And then Gregory and Hyacinth I definitely want to read. Alright, the next two books are both nonfiction. Starting with this one, Blackbirds in the Sky. I'm really excited for this one. I picked up this, this is by Brandy Colbert. I'm really excited about this one because I did pick this up. It's a hardcover. I picked this up, I want to say this is one of the first books that I picked up when I started getting my books. And this is the story and legacy of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. I don't know much about the massacre, and I really would like to just educate myself more on my history. So I'm really excited to reading this. I'm really excited to read this. I think it's going to be so just like heartbreaking but interesting to hear about. You know, there's nothing, like, I feel like I hear a lot, like, people are like, whenever there are, like, situations that are going on, with the BLM movement, a lot of people go to Black people to get educated and get answers, and we are still educating ourselves on our history because we don't know a lot of our history. So why not pick up a book and get educated with us instead of asking us to educate you? How about you pick up a book and let's get educated together, you know? So I'm really excited to read this one. And this last one I am so excited to read. This is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. I read an article from Mickey Kendall on her book and a couple passages from this book. I want to say 2 semesters ago in my women's feminism and gender class that I took, I want to say like 2 semesters ago. It was at the beginning of the pandemic. So good. That when I saw it in a bookstore near my hometown, I had to pick it up because I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to pass up this opportunity. I've been looking for this and I have not found it anywhere, but this is so good. If you really want to know about Black women's place in the height of the feminist movement, this I feel like is a really good book. She does not hold back at all. In that interview that she was talking about this book, she was not holding back 1 second. I was reading that article and was like, damn, she's going in, as she should. And I cannot wait to read about this. And I love the cover. I just think the cover is so beautiful. So yes, that is all the books that are on my TBR for the rest of 2022. And I cannot wait to read it. Please subscribe down below and turn on your post notifications. I will hopefully be getting my It Ends With Us reading vlog and Daisy Jones reading vlogs up really soon. And I hopefully will be doing a reading vlog when I get to conversations. I always want to say with friends. Is it with friends? Oh yeah, conversations with friends. So, I hope you guys like this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!